Hello, welcome back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress.
This is Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Brought to you by Leading Lights, LLC.
Hello, and welcome on to Foxboro's Future Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution 2. You heard that right. We're kicking off our Revs II podcast series, Foxboro's Future Fortress, with monthly episodes at the start of every month. Basically to cover the New England Revolution 2 and that side of things, and just cover the entire month of soccer for them. As you know, I'm Cecil Penny, and running this alongside me is we got the Blazing Muskets, Josh Nye, so say hi.
Hey.
All right, we're glad to have you. We got a lot to cover. That's whole month of soccer. Normally I do maybe 2 matches in a podcast. We got 4 today, so let's get right into it. It's the cross between February and March. We'll just kind of kick it off with Revs II versus Atlanta 2. It was a 1-1 draw where Revs II grabbed the extra point through pens. That's honestly a very good rule, in my opinion. It's really fun to see pens very, very consistently, in my opinion. So Josh, tell us about this game.
Well, first, things got to a really hectic start for them. 24th minute, Atlanta United breaks down the left side, and they eventually send in a cross that, kind of pinballs around. It eventually takes an awkward bounce off of Donovan Parisian, goes in for an unfortunate own goal. Kind of not what you really want to see out of a fresh side that's gone through a lot of changes and under a new coach. But, despite that, they bounce back into the game late. Carlos Zambrano tries driving into the box, ends up getting dispossessed, but the ball falls right to Cristiano Oliveira. Kind of tries to cut it across, but it takes kind of an awkward bounce off a defender, but falls perfectly to Miles Morgan, who easily taps it in to, level things. Kind of exactly what you want to see, kind of them bringing that fight. And, they're able to secure that point. And then kind of after getting the point, they kind of tidy things up in the shootout, secure the extra point following a 4-2 shootout win thanks to saves from Donovan. So just kind of overall, not what you really wanted to see out of your first game in terms of getting that goal, but, they're able to battle back, able to show their fight and kind of, secure the 2 points where they needed to.
Yeah, it's, again, 2 points. It's not, I like how the Revs only said it's like their first win when they beat SEC a little bit later, not counting that as a win. I feel like that's pretty consistent among MLS Next Pro, but it's good to see the 2 points match day 1, especially so much change, like you said. Deribian and Butts and Diaz out the door, and you only brought in Miles Morgan, which I thought was a good signing. I thought he was a very good signing, but just him in for these 3 guys, especially Marcos Diaz, losing him was very difficult for the side than I expected it to. But we got 21 shots in that game compared to Atlanta's 8. With them only having 2 on target, one of them going into the net. Us having 8 on target doesn't help our case, only getting 1. But 21 shots is still not bad at all. And it's good that we're actually shooting. The first team could use some work. We could shoot the ball a bit more. Yeah, I want to get your thoughts. First teamers on Revs II. McIntosh, Parisian, Klein, Oyerwell, and Oliveira all started and played that game, and Oliveira ended up getting man of the match. What are your thoughts on first teamers playing down with Revs II?
I mean, it's probably not ideal for them, especially when you sign that first team contract. You want those first team minutes, you want those first team opportunities. But at the same time, too, it's always good to get that kind of like playing experience under your belt, especially in a system where it's kind of, I don't want to say exactly mirrored to the first team, but, a lot of the familiar faces, a lot of familiarity, kind of getting that chance to kind of, show why you should be getting those first team minutes on a weekly basis.
Yeah. In my opinion, I really think if you sign that first team contract, I feel like you shouldn't get loaned right back down to where you were. I know that happens in other places. You get signed from USL Championship side to a MLS club, and then you get loaned back down to finish the season or whatever. And I can understand that. But we've seen MLS Next Pro is levels behind the USL Championship. And so I think what would be best for these guys is to find a USL Championship or League One side to like get these guys actual like first team playing experience. That's like big time for them because I feel like that's more helpful to them. Obviously, we want Revs two and the Revs to succeed. And it does help us that we can always just bring these guys right back up if an injury happens. But especially for a guy like Oyrov or uh, Klein or Oliveira, guys playing in that center mid, center offensive mid position, center attacking mid. If they're playing center attacking mid, keep them in the organization. If Cappy goes down, who do we have? Ghostbusters. All right, Luke Murray reference. Uh, Keep it going. Um, Saw that from John Rothenstein when we hired him. Pretty happy about that one. Um, Shout out Jake. Uh, but if you're a guy like say Oyerwal or Klein playing a defensive mid position there, I want to. We have a very deep defensive midfield. Like just like as an organization, Reigns, Polster, and Yusuf. Those are the top three, and then you got he's who shall not be named in Jackson Yule. Got a grudge against him, as always. And then like you look down the board and you got more, but that's four CDMs and that's two CDM positions. It's you could keep one of those guys. Keep Klein on the roster and have him playing down with the Revs too and be available for the Revs if say one of those guys goes down. I feel like I missed the center defensive end in that conversation, but we'll move. And just like loan Oyerwath out. The reason he's not with the first team right now is because we got rid of his international spot. Remember that. That it's not my favorite. But currently he's loaned down to Revs too. I really do think that it would be better for him, especially with like him being on the fence with like the Ugandan national team, consistently, just for his professional career to be loaned out to a USL championship club and then get that first team experience at a higher level than he is currently. Uh, he's been doing well. He won a man of the match in one of these matches, so he's not a bad player by any means. He shouldn't be down with them. He was getting first team minutes last year, so if he gets loaned out to a USL Championship side, that gives him what really is what really could be a very beneficial development like move for him. And he's not just with Revs two. Where Revs two, that opens the spot for a guy younger, and it leaves it it just works out for them because they get to develop younger guys and speed up that process, hopefully, or um, find someone who's just like 20 and sitting around right now because they got released from their MLS Cup, get him down there, maybe have him help with like a move to back up to MLS. And so there's all these options that I think would be better than him or just any guy playing down, especially in such a deep position like defensive midfield. It's just better for them to get a move out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally. I agree. I think something I hinted on some of my earlier podcast appearances with the Blazing Musket is that the Revs have done a phenomenal job of identifying like the talents and the specific people. It's just kind of implementing up that pipeline has kind of gotten a little bit wonky. As you mentioned, you have like guys like Eric Klein, and I don't know you're worth on first team deals, but they're playing week in week out at Revs too. That's not really entirely ideal how you want to roster your kind of with the first team. Where I think you're kind of spot on there, kind of utilizing USL Championship for some of these guys before they make that jump to like a first team deal. I think we're starting to see some other MLS Cubs kind of implement that from loaning guys from their second teams to straight to USL. I think blanking on the name, but I think there's a name from Rhode Island there from Minnesota's second team. That's it's like you look at those type of moves. It's like, well, why can't we do something like that? It's kind of a little bit frustrating at times to see.
Yeah, and even like I know Minnesota has loaned a few guys to RFC, which I love to see. I love Minnesota, and I love that their guys are coming down here. Honestly, my favorite going to Minnesota was incredible. Really, um, I will never stop talking about Minnesota on this podcast because they are my favorite Western Conference team, and they are by far that was incredible. Anyways, like we've seen them loan guys to RFC. We've seen Colorado loan guys to like Charleston Battery.
Mhm.
And we've seen these moves that have like they've loaned them down from or loan them up even, like from MLS Next
Mhm.
Pro to USL Championship or from their first team down to USL. And I think that's a great move that the Revs need to consider a bit more. We've done it with Thiago Suarez for the past 17 years. We've done it with it's been
Jack P.
we've done it with Jack P for the past two, even though him with RFC that 1 year. Now you're coming back. Get back here. Okay.
Mm,
And then you got uh
Brian Spalding.
Brian Spalding doing it a bit, and then now you're coming back. Get over here. We've had a weird relationship with loans.
Yeah.
Um, you know, Thiago Suarez needs to either stay with the Revs or stay permanent with the USL Championship. His can't be
Mm,
great for his development, coming back and going out every single year. Like obviously he's getting the time, and this is exactly what we want to see. Thiago Suarez getting that first team action with the USL Championship club, and Jack P getting chances with top clubs. But then those like the rest of them, Oiroth, Oliveira, uh, even McIntosh, like he's been down there for now 2 years plus, and he's been down there. This is his second year under a pro contract, under a first team contract with Revs II. He didn't make a single appearance for the first team last year, so it starts to like beg the question, like, hey, why are we keeping them down there? We saw what happened to Marcos Diaz,
mm,
where he was doing great with Rev 2, and they kept him down there. He never really got a chance with the first team, and then he ends up leaving, and now he's playing alongside Jack P. And so they're looking at each other like we're the same person, but different. Like so,
yeah.
it really is just the Revs need to kind of do that more. Like I like what we're doing with Santiago Suarez, except maybe give him a permanent home. And I like you gotta send him out for a year, maybe 2 years, but
Mhm.
more than that, with Thiago Suarez playing for 17 clubs in his like 20 years of life, can't be great for development. So there's a balance that needs to be found. Uh, moving down the line, Revolution next played Toronto FC2. It was a 0-0 draw, another draw, but we got that extra point on pens. Took a little bit longer, 7-6, but we get those 2 points. We end up with 4-2. 60% possession, 40% for Toronto. So once again, winning the possession battle. Again, high number of shots, 20 shots to 9 shots. And then lower shots on target, three for Toronto. We got also a little lower, 6. Parisian was up the first team, and so is Klein, I believe. You got JD Gunn getting a start in net. And he's also under a first team contract. So we have both those guys. That was a really loud text message. I don't know if anyone heard that. Why was that so loud? Anyways, you got uh Max Weinstein, who's out with an Estonian first team club, which good for him. I'm actually really happy with that move. It's a weird direction to go. What scout again? I don't know who I was talking with. What scout is from Estonia is down in New England watching Revs 2 games? Because if so, I'll hop in net. I'll go get a first team gig down there. Hey, I'm not scouts. If you're watching, I played 1 year of freshman high school soccer and I saved a pen as the backup. All right. Uh, keep your eyes peeled. D1, where you going? But yeah, we have JD Gunn, we have Max, and we have Donovan Parisian, and we have also Matthew Tibbetts. We have like these 4 Revs 2 keepers.
Four keepers.
Say Parisian's up at the first team. He's the primary back because we got rid of Bono. Cool. Keep it like that. Now you have 3 very capable keepers and really only 2 spots.
Mhm.
Loan JD Gunn out. Go send him home, go to Panama, and give him like a first team club in Panama. I feel like he could very much benefit from that. And then you've got a guy like Max starting for Revs 2, and you got Matthew Tibbetts, who will get more of a chance. What I found hilarious is when we signed him, his photo that they posted was still from like pre-college or something like that, and I found that hilarious because I'm like, that does not look 20. I was reading up the article, I'm like that can't be right, and then I looked, I'm like, wait, he's wearing a sponsor. Revs II doesn't wear sponsors. He's also wearing the United Healthcare sponsor. This is pre-college. This dude is
They
sick.
dug in the archives for that.
They were like, oh yeah, yep, there we go. And then put that picture in there. He's probably looking at his own article like, couldn't have had me do like a mini media day or something. Like, I would
Just
have
like one quick photo.
one quick photo. I could have just like a quick one of these and like a little cross armed Caleb Porter type. Could have done one of those. I would have. I'm here. Like, ah, you know. I always wonder where super draft picks go after being picked. Kyle McGowan, I had such high hopes for him. I don't know why. He was picked in the third round for a reason. I should have like kind of caught on to that. But I think he's like still in Denver or something like that. Because that's what Skip Williams did apparently. He went back to BC and played another year before being signed by RFC. I was fixing my I was fixing the Zambrano article when we signed Marcos Zambrano. We'll actually talk about Zambrano in a minute, not the same one though. And I was like, update. We gave him a third round pick for him to come here for a year. Okay, weird, but what are we gonna do with the 2027 third round pick anyways? And so I'm like,
Yeah.
still a cheap deal. Last time our third round pick was actually beneficial to the club, and I'm like, I have to find a database for this. Last one I found that was actually like useful to the club was like Femi Hollinger Janza. Like I was like that was 10 years ago, by the way.
Yeah. MLS Super Draft is thriving right now.
It's doing fantastic. I was looking back, I'm like, there was 4 rounds at one point. Are we serious? I'm like, there was no reason for that. I think we actually did in like the 1996 draft, we picked a guy in the third round or something like that that actually like played for 2 seasons. So I'm like, is this the last time third round picks were relevant? Is this the last time? And then I was like, all right, I guess we'll plug Femi in this article. And from 2016, he only played 32 times for the club, and yet somehow that was the last time a third round pick was beneficial to the club. So not a huge price tag there. But
No.
we got Mimi to play for the second team. We don't have a first round pick because what like why would we ever keep our first round picks? Or the Celtics? Why would they ever keep them?
No.
I
No.
what's the deal with that? Or the Rams?
Who needs first round picks?
Rams, F them down.
Real qualities in the second round, guys.
Real. At this point, I'm cool with that. But give me your thoughts on the March 8th match against Toronto FC, which is the number draw again.
Honestly, yeah, pretty much kind of very similar to the opening game. Revs II hold a bunch of possession. They get off a lot of shots. Unfortunately, not really able to capitalize on any of them, but it's still really good to see that kind of young team, kind of fresh, a lot of new faces under a new coach, kind of be productive in the offensive end. But like you mentioned, a little bit longer this time, a 7-6 victory in the shootout kind of gets them another 2 points and another solid result.
Yeah, you know, pretty. I'm happy with getting 2 points. Obviously won three. This isn't MLS. We're gonna get one from that, but again, favorite rule is going to Pens. So that's just sick. I get to watch Pens every Sunday night. Like, are you joking? Um, I will do that every day of the week. Um, yeah, you said very similar to the first game, and I agree. 20 shots. We're getting these shots up. We're not really capitalizing off them yet. But that does change. Revs II, Cincinnati 2, the next game. 2-1 win. It's our first official win of the year. We once again win the possession battle, 57-43. 19 shots to their 9 and 4 each on target. We got to put more of these shots on target.
Mm-hmm.
We're shooting shooting 20 shots a game. We're getting like at most 6 on target. Could get like 2 or 3 more maybe. That's
Yeah,
5.
just maybe.
We could try that. JD Gunn was once again in net with Eric Klein returning to the lineup. Oliveira, McIntosh. Excuse me. I always I was messed up. That's going to be a consistent
Mhm.
thing because it's not spelled with an A, and that's what trips me up the most. So McIntosh continued to start, and Oyerwath actually moves to the bench for this game. I think Oyerwath got man of the match in the last game, and then goes to the bench. Klein got man of the match this time. 2-1 win. Not mad at all. We get a win. Give us your thoughts, Josh.
Well, it got off to a really incredible start in the beginning. 7 minutes in, a good series of passes leads the ball to Makai Wells, who one times and really great curled shot past the keeper. Really good to see a young guy like that get on the board. A very highly touted prospect within the organization who is going to continue to grow. They kind of, battle back and forth throughout the rest of the game. It looks like they're going to get the 1-0 victory, but then they kind of get caught towards the very end. McIntosh kind of loses his defender. Cincinnati gets it in, and everyone's kind of, in a flurry. They kind of equalize, and it's kind of like, well, what are you going to do here? A lot of teams in that situation would, easily fold and kind of just give in to the pressure of the situation. But Revs II kept battling back, and eventually it kind of broke down that left side there. Miles Morgan kind of gets a hold of the ball, attempts to send it centrally, but it takes a really lucky deflection off a defender and goes in the back of the net to get them the 2-1 win. I mean, probably not the way they wanted to get that goal, but at the end of the day, they all count the same, and it leads to 3 points.
Exactly what I was gonna say. It's a goal is a goal. However it stands, unless you're Senegal, and then it gets overturned 2 months later. But hey, uh, I got that notification while I was walking, and I'm like to Cam and Rap. I'm like, hey guys, this is kind of a big deal. Like they kind of just got like their trophy taken away. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not like an AFCON fan or anything. It's kind of crazy. So
Most definitely.
that's kind of crazy. So first win is always nice. I'm not. You can't be mad at that. It's obviously weird, but Makai Wells. Why are my notifications so loud? I turned on work, which means it's telling me that U.S. Belgium was kicked off. The Athletic. The Athletic. You need to chill out today. Going. All right. Like last time, I got like a loud text message. It didn't pop up, but like it is in my ear, so it's like I'm like I can't even continue mine. Uh,
Train of thought.
so. And also I think FC Cincinnati. I don't know who started net for them that game. But I know they have like a guy from Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say it was the Liverpool guy because
I
I mentioned that in their group chat. And I was like, we just like beat a Liverpool goalkeeper.
understand me when I tell you, New England Revolution 2 is better than Liverpool goalkeeper.
Confirmed.
I'm not even. It's a crazy sentence to say.
Yeah,
Loaning him to Cincinnati too is weird. That's a weird. That's just a
yeah, that's
move on
that's
it.
a very interesting career
I
path.
didn't. I going from Liverpool down to Cincinnati too. Uh, I would have expected like a non-league English side. You couldn't
Mm,
find one of them to take him, and you were like,
exactly.
let's go into the depth of MLS and let's see what happens. And
Third division U.S. soccer, baby.
they're like, okay, we could send him to, uh, we could send him to Des Moines, Iowa, or we could send him to Cincinnati. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Cincinnati has a soccer team that like people know about. Let's do that. And then they send him to this B team. All right. I'm a huge fan of Roman Celentano up until he let in 6 goals against the Revs. Nice job. Appreciate you. Um, made me happy big time right there. He actually wasn't bad by any means. We just could not stop scoring somehow.
No.
Yeah. But then uh MLS Next Pro, there's a new team in MLS Next Pro. It's Connecticut United. I don't totally understand those teams because they're not connected to an MLS team. They're just kind of there. And personally, I'd prefer to do a USL team. Um, that's where my head's at. I don't know what the application process is for MLS Next Pro compared to like USL Championship or USL League One. Not sure how that all works, but hey, not. It's a new rivalry. And we're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna complain. And the Revolution won 2-0 in that game. Revs II CT United. What was that? March 22nd. Appreciate you putting the date on that, by the way. I have like no concept of time. I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna put down a score. Uh, it's another win. It's 2 wins through two. Three, 6, 10 points through four.
Can't
Back to back.
complain.
That's okay. This is slow. You can hear the gears spinning. It's actually a really weird win though, because the Revs actually lost the possession battle and the shots battle and the shots on target battle, which for all 3 games prior we won, and then some games we would draw 0-0 or 1-1 or we'd win 2-1, but we won in a convincing in like 2-1, 2-0. So score sheet convincing. You look at the stats. Why did we win? So we got 47% possession to their 53. And I'm guessing all 53 was Alex Money, their captain. That's what I'm betting on. Philippine international. I was debating between Philippine and Philippian. That can't be right. Um, so Philippine international, he's their captain. He was a Revs II striker last year. I actually would have liked to see him get more shots. I kept arguing for Liam Butts to come up to the first team, and like because we had like 0 people on that team that could score goals. Um, and I was like, give Alex Moniz that striker spot and send Liam Butts to the first team. Turns out Alex Moniz might just be a center attacking mid, and he should just stay there. But hey, he's cap. We have actually like 2 former Revs captains in USL with Tommy McNamara and Mr. Yellowcard himself, Tommy McNamara, and Alex Moniz. So pretty cool there. Again, shots, we lost that battle 10-15, and then three on target to 4 on target. Yet we put 2 in the back of the net. We got 3 on target, but when we put 6 on target, I think we scored 0. I think. Yeah. We put 6 on target when we didn't score any. We put 3 on target, we scored 2. Smaller numbers, more goals. Keep that in mind. So yeah, Josh, give me your thoughts on that game.
Yeah, so kind of like what you had hinted already, the scoreline may show the 2-0, but it was a lot more of a battle than the scoreline actually shows. It was a lot more physical. I think it ended with like 31 fouls in total, surprisingly 0 yellow cards. But yeah, no, it's a little bit hard for especially like first year manager like Pablo, new year or a new team coming in. You never had that experience of seeing what they're like in person, kind of going off a lot of stuff that you don't know, but they're able to come in, kind of get the goals, and walk out with the result in the first ever meeting between the rivals.
What are we dubbing this match? Is this like the Jake Catmaze versus Cecil Kenny Derby? Is that how we're doing this? The Jake Cecil Derby? Because he's a Connecticut through and through. I don't understand.
Yo,
I don't understand how
Connecticut bleeder.
I don't understand how he's a Connecticut through and through. Because nothing happens in Connecticut. I'm pretty sure it's just highway.
That
But
we try telling him all the time. It's just a highway between Boston and New York.
that's what I'm saying. Uh, I'm a man, my friend Nathan. We're New England nationalists, so we just think New English is secede from the Union and call it a day. We have enough. We can survive. But we should
We
leave
got that.
Connecticut behind. We don't need that state. It doesn't actually do anything. It just kind of is there.
It's just there.
It just sits there. It's a square that doesn't do much. Make Rhode Island bigger, in my opinion. Like, or just like demolish Connecticut. Like, it's an Instagram account that like Connecticut's not real, and I
Yeah.
follow nothing happens there, so
No.
I can't convince
Well,
any.
now professional soccer.
It's they somehow put a professional soccer team there, um, before they put an NBA team back in Seattle. Like impressive. Um, Malcolm Fry made his Revs II appearance, first Revs II appearance of the year. That match with Parisian back in net, Klein Oliveira and Oira all starting. And McIntosh, I got it right that time, picking a man of the match and the assist. Good for him. I was advocating for him to get a shot with the first team last year when Peyton was injured, and I'm surprised we didn't see him a little more like this early season. We had like that first game. It should never have happened against Nashville. Honestly, when we played Andrew Farrell and Keegan Hughes at center back, with
Yeah.
Eli started on the bench with Will Sands, and I don't even know who the other one was. Was it Ethan Kohler? That's
Yeah.
that's never been MLS backline, by the way. Like maybe if Andrew Farrell turned back the clock 6 years and like Ethan Kohler like develops like a lot, and Keegan Hughes is much better, and Will Sands is doing things. Will Sands actually been pretty decent this year.
Mm.
Pretty surprised at that. Good for him. I was mad, but hey, he's doing better than DeJuan Jones currently, so you got to keep that in mind.
Poor
Unlucky.
guy.
Really, really do hate to see DeJuan Jones go down for the year.
Yeah.
That was a terrible joke to Mac. I really love DeJuan Jones. I really wish we could trade him, but Will Sands seems like a pretty cool dude, especially with all of the stuff he's doing with Revs II soccer. So
Mm.
he seems like a great guy. So good to good to have him on the team. But yeah, it's a weird win 2-0. So, you know, there's that. We're like top five in MLS Next Pro, where I was saying before we started, I had zero expectations for this team because we didn't sign anybody. We got rid of three guys, and we only signed Miles Morgan, and it was a first time head coach plus one signing, and nobody and like 3 stars leaving. I don't see how that's supposed to work, but yet here we are. It took two penalty shootouts and us playing a Connecticut team to be top five. Um, I feel like winning against Connecticut doesn't hold as much weight because, again, I don't think much happens there. But hey, I'm gonna hate on Connecticut. It's gonna happen consistently. Um, hey, what can you do? I don't know much about Revs II transfer news. They just kind of some people just kind of pop in and out from the team, I guess.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, but I do have, as you know, to our audience, we do on the main podcast about the first team. We talk about uh we do five sides. We each pick five players from across the two teams the Reds are playing. I'm actually going to do that tomorrow. Recording this on a Saturday, by the way. I don't think I've ever recorded on a Saturday, unless we've. Yeah, I think it's like the first time recording on a Saturday. Uh, this is releasing on like the first of the month, so it's like the 28th right now. Welcome back to the past. Um, Back to the Future, something like that.
Time cop.
Something. Gotta speed that up. Uh, Basically, because this is a month, we only do this once a month. We're just gonna cover 4 games an episode, which that it worked pretty well. Um, Me and Josh are each gonna pick 2 players. One's gonna be a like normal player, and one's gonna be a young player. They're all relatively young on Revs too, but like there's definitely like there's a difference. There's like over 19 and under 19. So we'll just kind of like draw the line at like we'll draw the line at 18. Um so that's how we'll do it. We each pick one and then we'll figure out the math next episode. I came up with the second idea with this idea like just before we started recording. It's probably gonna be add the 2 players like follow scores up, and then like from the 4 games that they play, and then average them out, and then take the 2 players, the young player plus the other player, add those scores up, average them out, and that's the score. It's gonna take some explaining next episode just to see how the process actually goes, but it's gonna happen. So I'll let you pick first while I pull up the Revs II roster. Um, so you're very experienced with it's right there in front of me, and I just had to look it up. That's awesome. Uh, I got the squad up, so I'll let you pick your regular player, so you're like over 18 player to pick. Um, do I want to draw the line at 18? I think I do. Um,
18 sounds like about a good age.
yeah, 18 seems like a great age actually. That was a great idea that I made. Um, so who's your over 18 player to watch next year or next month?
I think I'm gonna go Christian Byasam. He was like one of the guys that we talked about, like came in the middle of last year, kind of really wasn't able to find his footing much. Kind of came in at the very end of the year, but now under Pablo has kind of gotten that kind of first kind of couple reps under his belt. Fortunately, there are a little bit of injury issues when it comes to center back with Revs II right now, so Chris has kind of gotten a little bit more of a role thanks to that, and I think that's going to probably continue into the next month. And he's just kind of a real exciting prospect to watch.
Yeah, he's an international player, by the way. I know the Revs two actually like has a consistent number of like international players, which I find pretty surprising. JD Gunn's out with Panama consistently. We've seen Donovan Parisian out with Armenia's youth teams, which I didn't know he's Armenian. I was like, he's Armenian, and like the first post, like, hey, whatever works. And then Chris Mbayasem, Central African Republic.
Mm.
I'm not complaining. And then Oyarov is with Uganda. I got Eric Klein and Oliveira out with international teams consistently.
Makai Wells too.
Makai Wells, we'll talk about him in a second because I'm gonna jump around. We'll run this like a snake draft. You pick your normal player first, and then I'll pick one and one, and then you'll pick your last one. And I'll just do my young player first. I'm a big fan of Makai Wells, honestly.
It's hard not to be.
I've been watching him last season. He actually follows the podcast, so I actually approve. So keep it up, Makai. You're actually like killing it, and it's actually like really cool. So yeah, a huge fan of Makai Wells. So not not complaining there. He's a very good player. So I'll gladly take him there. And after that, he scored in what, seventh minute?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna complain about that one. Um,
No.
yeah, I'm gonna take it's I'm between two guys here. I'm between Jaden Da and I'm between Cristiano Oliveira. And I think I'm gonna go with Cristiano Oliveira. Uh, he's I guess figure his spell. Okay, I think I got that right. I learned when Cam was writing his article and him being signed to a first team deal. Uh, when that happened, I was like, wait, there's an I in there. I was like, oh wait, I should probably get on that. Oh, so whatever works there. Um, so yeah, he's very exciting to watch, honestly. Um, I might do a graphic for that. I haven't decided. I don't know. We'll figure that out. If you see a graphic, you see a graphic. If you don't see a graphic, there was no graphic. I don't know. Do I wanna spend a half hour designing a graphic? It really comes down to that. Yeah, both guys, Makai Wells and Christian Oliver is 18, right? He's 17.
Please.
I'm
Oh,
it's not over a teen. I didn't realize that. That doesn't work for me.
you're in a pickle.
I know. Well, I guess I'm taking Jaden Dow then.
Solid choice.
Gave me gave me the reason. He's only scored one goal this year, but he's come back off an injury. He's only played 4 games since the injury. He got called up. He played in a Revs match before a Revs 2 match, which honestly kind of was like whatever at
Boss move.
that point. So Jaden Dow is my pick there, and then Makai Wells, I picked him. Not knowing Cristiano Oliveira was 17, but hey, I'm still very happy with Makai Wells. Makai Wells is a phenomenal player, and I think he does very much have a future. I do have a question. I don't totally understand what happens here. Masendin and like Emery. Emery's a great player too. They go off to college at some point, like Tibbetts, maybe. What like
Javon's under contract with Revs II, so
okay,
I don't really know how that works now.
okay, because he got signed to a deal, but he's supposed like how old is Javon Masendin?
He was committed to Indiana at one point.
Was
Let me rephrase that because I don't know if he was or not, but like
I
I
saw
think he was verbally committed to Indiana at one point.
he was, and then now he's 18 and he's currently still with Revs too.
Yeah,
I don't
under a deal there.
I don't totally know what happens there. Does he like stick with Revs too?
I think so now that he has that professional contract under his belt, but
Because we never signed. I'll talk about a guy I talk to consistently, Eli Ackerman. Love the guy. Uh,
mm,
Talked to him a lot. He never signed a Revs 2 deal. He was with Revs 2 for a bit. And now he's with Notre Dame. Good for him.
Mm.
Phenomenal player. Um, so I'm guessing because we signed him to a deal, that means that he'll stick around, and then I don't know what happens after that. Deal expires,
Yeah,
but
I think signing the deal kind of, I don't want to say eliminates, but like puts it on the back burner
yeah, and
because I
it,
don't think he can now that he's like under a professional deal. But like again, they had like the amateur agreement deals that I think Eli was signed to at one point or
yeah,
was on a lot of the academy guys. That kind of gives them that chance to get like MLS X Pro experience, but without giving up like their college eligibility.
yeah. So not sure what goes on there, but you have your young player to pick. Um,
Ooh.
so you know, Cristiano Vera is still on the table, by the way, as I know him as uh, you know. I we can't pick any of our goalkeepers because somehow they're all over 21. Understand me when I say that. That is insane. JD Gunn's 26, by the way. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
you caught that. Parisian makes sense. He went to college. Tibbets, that makes sense. He went to college. Max Monsen, I don't know. Did he go to college? He was in Estonia. I feel like he might have gone to college. Who knows? Can't really remember. We can't pick any of our keepers.
I'm
And Demario
gonna
McDonald
go.
is off the table because he's 18. So, you know, it's really can't pick Joe Buck either. Like these guys are actually like older than I expected, honestly.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of age on this team.
My biggest pet peeve was Chattanooga having like a 34-year-old keeper. And I think they still have
40.
that is the most
40. Like, brother, you're
like
close
40
to
something
like
like
401k.
that's the most outrageous thing. It's fine a USO League One team, but
Yeah,
why are you
like
in MLS Next Pro? There
a
is
40-year-old winning MLS Pro goalkeeper of the year is like absolutely bonkers.
That's it's not just so it's outrageous, really, and it's like our oldest guy in Reps 2 is 26, which is already pushing it for me.
Yeah.
But he's signed to a first team deal. So, but like this dude, I don't know his name. I don't think he's signed to a first team deal. I don't even know if they have a first team.
No, Chattanooga does not have a first team.
All right, so
That like
yeah,
Chattanooga is their first team in MLS Next Pro.
again, I don't understand that. Find yourself an MLS team or I don't know. Like I feel like
Retire.
there's still MLS teams without MLS Next Pro teams. So find an MLS team. I don't know. Do something. I don't know. Connect yourself somehow. Who knows? But yeah, you actually have like a lot of guys knocked off. I don't know a ton about the rest of them. What's the deal with Cristiano Carlos? He's 18, but
Academy guy, I believe.
he's an academy guy, but he's committed to was it
Oh,
Fairfield? I feel like that sounds like
you
Fairfield.
might be a better expert on that one.
I just remember seeing a post and I'm like, I had to like remember it because Eli was committing to Notre Dame and like signing those stuff. I remember seeing Fairfield. I'm pretty sure it was Carlos. Um, but yeah, who's your young player? I've cut you off like 4 times now. So
You're good. For my young player, I think I'm going to go Judas Sakara. You know, he's someone who's gotten some solid minutes thus far in the midfield. Kind of, you know, when you have bigger names like Cristiano Alvera, Eric Klein, and like Javon Masindin, you're kind of get a little bit lost in the fray. But, you know, I think, you know, being 17, I believe, you know, he's kind of really holding his own as like a Revs Academy prospect, and he's definitely someone to watch.
yeah, um, my biggest another pet peeve of mine is when Fat Mob says they're on the Revs, New England Revolution U15s. They're 17. That's just not true. Um, there should like it can't be that difficult to realize, oh wait, he's 17, he can't be on that team, and then find what it like they're
Yeah.
updating it in the club and season area. I can see that he's played for New England Revolution 2, March 2025 till now, but it still says November 2022, New England Revolution 15 U15s till now. He's played there. And so it doesn't update that, and so it doesn't put
No.
him on the Revs 2 roster. So I just don't see him. But I feel like they should definitely fix that because it shouldn't be that difficult to be like, hey, he's over there. Oh, cool. Like, it shouldn't be that difficult, but hey, Judas
No.
Scarab, another guy to watch. Bob Up said he's playing in an attacking mid role. Would you agree with that?
He definitely does get forward a lot. I would say he's probably a little bit more central in that more than like an attack. He's not like Carlos Hill or like a Christian Oliver, like constantly getting involved in like the 18, but he's getting out there, getting up on sides and trying to, make it work.
He's thought. Um, I'd say Oyer. I'd put Oyerwoth in that center mid category too, in my opinion.
Mm.
He was playing CDM with the Revs first team last year, but he was also like pushing up a fair bit. So there's there's always that. Uh, but yeah, Judas Scarab and Makai Wells are the two young players to watch, and then Jade Dot and Chris and by Assem are your players to watch for this month. So keep an eye on those. All games are on One Football. I'm not watching those because I had the app like a year before, just because I was like, oh wait, I can just watch soccer on here, and I can watch like a third division game from like Albania. Sign me up. So why not? But with that, I don't really have anything else to add. Do you, Josh?
So honestly, yeah, just really impressed with how things have gone this far. We talked about, getting rid of Gabor Diarby and getting rid of Liam Butts, getting rid of Marcos Diaz, not making a lot of additions in the offseason. Where was this team really going to fall in the opening couple games? But honestly, they've kind of honestly surpassed my expectations. And I'm
Yeah,
really happy to see that.
it's good to see. It gives you hope for the future as Marcos Marco Red State coach is very youth focused as he's brought in every US U20 player physically possible. I'm thinking about writing an article on that closer to the next transfer window. Keep an eye out for that one because I don't know if there's another player to sign because we've signed them all. No one else.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon Catch 'em All.
Exactly what he did.
It's just
Like
US U20s.
it's getting to a problem, and this is part of what's going to be in the article. We don't do much scouting. It's clear that he's just signing his own guys, and also we didn't do much scouting for Turner either. We had him before, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll go into more depth in my article in a bit. But yeah, with that, I'm going to end this off. Solid little episode for us. If you're not already, make sure you're following Foxboro Fortress on X and Instagram. Josh, you're on X and Instagram as well. Josh Nye 8798 on both, and then make sure to check out the Blazing Musket uh, on both platforms as well. If you're make sure you're following whatever platform you're on, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, YouTube. It's your pick. Go ahead. If you want to be featured in the next episode, let me know via comments of posts I'll probably put up. I didn't put out a post for this one because I haven't figured out what that post would be. Because for normal podcast, it's a blurred photo of this. I don't totally know what image I want to do for Revs II. So I guess you'll just have to see in about a month if you see something you don't recognize. Probably it's a bat signal for Foxboro's Future Fortress. So keep an eye out. We'll see you in a month about this time. So this has been fun. And Josh, I do this normally it's either Cam or Raph who takes this line. But this was, and then the name of the podcast, Foxboro's Future Fortress. And you're running this alongside me. So it's you who gets the line. You ready?
Yep.
All right. This was
Foxboro Futures Fortress.
go.